Okay, hey everybody, Max and Kev here. We're gonna start a podcast, so it's kind of new to us. We don't know what we're gonna. At the end of the day, we don't know exactly how this is gonna go, but our premise is we want to highlight our local artists, our musicians, our friends, and also some local heroes. You know, we firefighters and people that are serving the community, and we just want to shine a light on that. You know, we've been thinking about doing this for a long time. We've been talking to some people, and we've gotten some good feedback. So we're just going to jump in. You know, we got to rip the Band-Aid off a little bit here. And so we're going to be asking the community. We're going to be asking all of you, you know, what you guys think and what some of these people that you might want us to interview. And we're also going to be looking for a name. We've been tossing around some stuff, but we figured, hey, this is a social media thing. This is something for the community. This is something that we want some input on. So like, if you guys could have name suggestions for the podcast too, it's in its infancy right now. So we're really excited about doing this. And we just want to get all the feedback and stuff that we can from everybody and see what you guys think in the end too. So
I 100% agree. Everything you said was perfect. Good sir.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, you know, we've been local musicians here. Gosh, I don't want to give anything away.
I don't either, but too long.
Yeah,
too long.
Too long. Yeah, me and Kevin, we're in Aurora. So we love everybody, and we want to shine a light on some of these people that are really great people in the community. So
and that's for everything, right? It doesn't have to be music.
Nope.
It can be new businesses.
Right.
It can be firefighters. It can be anybody who's an amazing person, hero, anybody doing anything.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it.
I do too.
It's very positive.
Yeah. And that I think that's the biggie thing right now too for a lot of people, no matter what, you know, no matter what's going on in the world. It's like, you know, love and light and things like that. You know, we want to be positive. We want to have something to you know, because there's a lot of negativity out there. So that's not what we're about. We're not going to get into any politics or religion or anything like that that's divisive.
No, we are not doing that.
No,
we are not going there.
Exactly.
That's not happening. What I will say is already right now, just from listening to you speak, this is already making me feel positive.
That's good.
I like the vibes that are happening here. And that's kind of the goal, is to shine light on, like you said, unsung heroes. Yep. And create a positive podcast here where we talk about positive things and do positive things.
All right. So, and this is all off the cuff today. We don't have any scripts. We're just kind of throwing ourselves out there and just kind of on the mercy of the court a little bit here.
Yes.
I'm going to go into a little, I didn't tell him before he came over today, but
okay. All right. What do we got?
I am going to kind of throw him under the bus a little bit.
Let's
because I think first and foremost, for those of you that don't know who we are, we should interview each other.
I knew where you were going already.
Yeah, you did. See, simpatico. But so first up, I'm going to interview Kevin a little bit. I'm just going to say, okay, this is Kevin Mason.
That's my name.
For those of you that don't know. And I just want to talk about a little bit of your music journey. So let's start at the beginning. Like how did it come to be for you?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a long-winded journey.
That's okay.
I'll try to keep it as short as I can. Your first question, how did it start for me?
Yeah. I mean, obviously your dad's in music.
Yeah. So
Kevin Mason.
So my dad plays in toys.
Yep.
He's a singer. But he also drums, plays guitar, all that. Anyways, if you want to talk about my actual growing up into music, I was blessed because I had the ability to have someone who did all those different things and played in great local bands. I have always been around music. I remember the first time I played drums, I was probably about 4 or 5. My dad always I wanted to play guitar. I always wanted to be a guitar player.
Oh, sure.
I did. I always wanted to be a ripping guitar player.
Well, we all do. But
yeah. My dad always told me my hands were not big enough to get around the neck. Pause. No diddy. I'm not trying to be weird.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. So I started with drums, and I've drummed since I was 5 until I'm now 30. Yesterday was my birthday. So I've been
dirty 30.
Dirty 30. So I've been drumming for a long time, and then eventually I picked up other instruments as I went along. For me, music is a something that I can't take out of my life. It is permanently there. It's like a tattoo. So
Tramp stamp style, or you're like, I love it, but damn.
no, I love it.
Okay, good.
Oh no, you're right. It is like a
it
tramp
is kind of.
stamp.
That's. I mean,
Yeah, I love it, but man, I wish
it's a blessing and a
And a
curse.
curse,
It
exactly.
really is. It really is.
It really is.
Well, I remember coming back in the day, and you were kind of coming out, and you had a little guitar contest. That was the first time I had actually ever seen you.
Oh.
There was a little. I think it was Performance Sound and Music. They had
Yep.
this little guitar contest. You came
Yep.
up, and I'm like, who's this guy? Just coming out of left field.
Yeah, that
And
that's crazy that you remember it. Honestly, that's crazy.
Me too. I mean, yeah, it is Oregon.
I don't mean
and
it like
cannabis
that.
is a thing, but yeah, you're right.
I don't mean it like that. Yeah, no, I mean, I did obviously I did that guitar contest, and throughout my life growing up, it's just like I said, it's always been music, whether it was drums or guitar or the contests or in the music in band in high school. Music's been my whole life. I mean, that's just kind of my whole thing.
All right, some of the bands that you've been in. Let's start at the top.
Oh god.
But yeah, let us know the nitty gritties. Some of these bands that make you wince. Even yeah, anything goes.
The first band that I ever started, actually, this is a fun fact. The first band I ever started was Risk. That was what we called ourselves.
Nice.
I remember being in middle school. I'm in like 6th grade, and I was like, oh man, we got to have a name for our band. And I was trying to draw out different things that would look cool. And I was like, you know what? An R looks really cool if I do kind of like Kiss.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Where
No,
the
I got
S
you.
looks cool.
Right.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, it's also got to have an S in there. And then I was like, hey, I just wanted to be, crazy. Right. So I was like, what if we just called ourselves Risk?
Nice. Actually, that's not bad. I like it. I do. I've never heard this, so I didn't even know that was a thing. But that's awesome.
And the people that were in the band were, one of them was Bryce Martin.
Bryce Martin. Hey, I was
Shout
in a
out
band
to
with Bryce.
Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce.
Shout out to you, brother. We love you.
Yes, we do.
So Bryce Martin, we had Dusty Ledyard. I'm not sure if I'm saying the last name right. Don't crucify me, good sir. I still love you. And Oscar Sermeno, who I work with. He's now my helper. He was the drummer.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
this
what I'm
is
saying. This is
total
back in
news
the
to
day.
me,
Yeah,
man.
this is
Like,
way back in the
Oscar
day.
drummed it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
What are you doing now, Oscar?
he's
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, he's in fact, he came over the other day and I was like, man, I got this drum lick that one of my friends can't figure out. Do you understand it? And he was like, oh, you mean toot, got, toot, 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 got. I was like, yes. You still
Good.
got
You
it.
still
You
got it,
still
bro.
got it, bro.
That's awesome.
Anyways, so yeah, that was my first band. And then there's, like I said, a multitude of bands. I mean, there was.
Well, we don't have to go into every.
I'm not gonna go into everything. There's
I
just too
remember
much.
Stepping on Embers.
Stepping on. Oh, yep, that's high school. There you go.
Yep. That was
Stepping on
early
Embers,
on.
That's high school. Josh, Sam, Chris, killer
Great
players.
guys. Yeah.
Then it kind of goes into Done Deal, which that's a whole other thing too. Toys, played with them for a while, and Surface. Yes,
Surface,
Surface.
yeah.
Surface, that was another one.
And there was also the band with Curist, right?
Yes, yeah, that was Liberated.
Awesome.
That was
awesome.
Liberated.
Yeah, no, that was a great band too. And I believe your dad was helping out on that one.
My
as
dad
well,
was
right?
also in that band, and that was a great time, a great point of my life. Great playing with all of the musicians in the band. It was really fun.
Right. It was a fun show.
It was a really
fun show.
You might see some butt cheeks you might not have wanted to see, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it was great.
That's how
it was
that
great.
was.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Butt cheeks aside.
Okay. All right.
To each their own. But yeah, that wasn't my draw, I would say.
Okay. That was my whole draw. That's why I got in the band.
Right.
I saw those butt cheeks and said, gosh darn it, put me in, coach.
Yes. Speaking of put me in, coach, that's exactly how he came into Aurora.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where I was gonna end it at was Aurora. So currently I'm playing with Aurora.
Yep.
This
And-
guy's a guitar player.
Yep. And he started on bass actually with us.
Yep.
And killed it. And being the multifaceted musician that he is, he was able to cover another spot. So once we needed a new drummer, he stepped in.
Yeah,
And
that's what I like to do.
and he's amazing. I hate to give him any kudos because he has a huge ego and a huge head, but you
And
know,
a little bit.
it's warranted.
Little bit.
I mean, he's good. So
Little bit.
what are you gonna do? But yeah, no, and we've had some good times, my man.
Yeah, no, we've had great times.
I'm really obviously, you know, now we're doing a podcast together.
Yeah.
you know, you asked me 10 years ago, not on my radar.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing that I will say that I'm happy about because it was funny that when I really did want to be a part of Aurora because I hadn't played in a while, I got a little kickback from him. He was, I don't know if Kevin's going to be the right one for the
Well, it
band.
was.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't trust him.
Well,
dude."
you got to admit, you were early 20s when.
Yeah, and
you
I
know.
was crazy. Yeah, I get it. No, I
Yeah,
totally get it.
He was a little all over the place. I knew he had the skill, but I just didn't know, you know, because it takes more than that to be in a band, right?
It does take more than that to be in a
Just
band. It's
skill alone. I mean, you can be as good as you want, but
I've played with many people that are great performers, but they are horrible bandmates or horrible people.
same.
Playing in a band is not just about. Gosh, this is a whole talking subject.
I
in
know
and of itself.
this could be another segment.
It
on
totally
its-
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right,
Anyways, so that's my story.
Kevin Mason.
as far as a musician.
Kevin Mason. Yeah.
Well, thank you,
well, yeah.
Cricket.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Well, so then let's turn the tables here for a second here.
All right.
Max Jones. No, not physically.
Okay, good, because there's
Metaphorically. Yeah, we got stuff going on down here. Max Jones, give me a little bit of a backstory on you as a musician, maybe you growing up, you deciding why you wanted to be a musician. Why did you choose guitar? Tell me a little bit about yourself from the start to where we're at now.
okay. Kind of a funny story, actually. Well,
Okay.
my parents were hippies.
It's not funny already.
I know.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, no, it's not. But
No, I'm joking.
at the same time, I was kind of sheltered. So, and my dad was a singer songwriter, and so my music was my dad. We didn't have, you know, the new cassettes. We didn't have anything that was coming down the road. So anything that I listened to was stuff that my dad did on his acoustic. And so, you know, this was my life growing up. I mean, was something that he did all the time, and it got me. One, I already had a love for music, but a kind of funny story is my dad played guitar and sang, singer songwriter, great. And then my brother, he's 11 years older than me, so he took on guitar, and he took on guitar like none of us did. My brother took it to the next level. He was an amazing guitarist. And I think there was a little bit of that, like knowing that my brother was so good that I was already defeated before I started. So I was like, I didn't want to play guitar.
Oh,
That was the thing
okay.
for me. I'm like, I didn't really want to play guitar. I wanted to play
Okay.
something else to contribute. And I'm like, hey, there's other instruments. So I ended up picking up the bass, and I said, hey, I'm going to start out on this. And my dad told me that, there's always a need for a good bass player, man. And I don't know if that was
Not wrong.
selfish on his part, just going, hey, I could use a bass. I don't know, but I did. I picked up the bass, and I had a lot of fun doing
So
that.
So that is your first instrument? I'm learning something.
That was literally, well, I take that back in the fact that my dad gave me a little tiny acoustic back in the day.
Okay, so you kind of around on the guitar.
But as for my dad teaching, it was more of a like, what can we do, which was easy stuff. So it was like Louie. I did some of that stuff, and I worked and it did help, just dexterity and knowing what to do with my left hand and my right hand at the same time. So I kind of learned on that. But then when I let it go for a long, long time because I was just like, my dad is good, my brother's good, I suck. I don't really, I really don't want to do this. So I didn't for the longest time. And then first video was a Victor Wooten video, which if you know who he is yeah.
Hey, you want to play like this?
Yeah, it was like, and I almost gave up then too because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I thought bass was supposed to be easier, not so much. And so anyway, that's kind of the beginnings. And then I went through a few different iterations. I got into some heavy metal stuff with some friends. I got into
So I'm curious because I do know a little bit about you. When did you go from kind of I've heard some of your dad's music too, and you sing it and play it. It's kind of a little more folky storytelling,
right? Yeah,
it is heartfelt,
definitely folk, country, bluesy kind of stuff. Yes.
So when did you go from that type of a thing into I love heavy metal? I love hard rock.
I think all kids kind of go through a little rebellious phase, and what was the complete freaking opposite of what they were doing was what I wanted to do. Because I just wanted to come into my own a little bit, and I hooked up with some other like-minded people, and I liked metal. The Rage, and
right.
So I got into that. So that's what I was like, let's do this. And I Gents Gammelgard and Jeff Braden and a few other guys, they were, and Keenan Neal, that's how I kind of got in and met all those guys, and we started smashing it out, and just having a ton of fun. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. It made me actually enjoy playing and music and having fun. It was like, it took me out of the lessons and sitting in front of a screen and going through all this stuff to practical application. And it was like, okay, this thing that I learned today, cool, I can go into the rehearsal room next week and go, what do you think of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that kind of snowballed into other iterations of that. We did Slay the Seven and a couple other metal projects. A good friend of mine, Trevin Days, great dad. He's got some youngins and very proud of him. But when I first met him, it was a Craigslist thing. It was like we threw out an ad for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
he's killer. That's crazy that you found him.
He just happened to
Craigslist.
move to town. It was like this simpatico thing. It just
and Craigslist. Who uses Craigslist anymore, bro?
I know.
What was this? 30 years ago?
No. Are you? Maybe. Damn it.
I'm just joking.
No, he's not. He's throwing me.
I understand.
You old bastard. But so that was kind of, that start, and I had a lot of fun with those guys. We did a lot of different things, and Trevin in his own right was kind of a singer-songwriter, so he had lots of stuff. We had a band called Silent Extinction. That's where I played with Bryce Martin.
Right.
I
remember that.
Yeah, no, we had some fun. And so then it just it went to a place where it was like, okay, Trevin moved away. I didn't know what I wanted to do musically. I didn't know what was coming. And then I met Anthony Pescatore. And he goes, you know what? I got something for you, buddy. And he's like, have you ever thought about playing cover songs? And I'm like,
No,
and I said,
play a cover
yeah,
song,
when you're in metal and you're an original artist, that's like almost like, dude, like
sacrilegious.
You just peed in the pool, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it is.
So it took me a minute, but at the same time, I thought about it. I went home and I said, you know what? Yeah, and at that time, Kevin was messing around. Playing 20-year-old and dropping the ball. So
I was.
He bailed, and there was a spot opened up.
Yep.
And so I took it. And so at the first, I was kind of like, I didn't really know Kev, so it was like, I'm taking his spot, and this is super awkward.
I'm better than Kevin.
No, I never said that. I never thought that. I was just saying that like it was just weird for me because I didn't know you. And so at the time, I was just like, oh, gosh. And then when we'd meet, I was just like, oh, dude, this, it's like, this is the new boyfriend kind of deal. It's like, oh, awkward. It's totally awkward.
How you doing?
Yeah, hi there,
Nice to meet
buddy. How you doing? But, and it was kind of funny. That's kind of the way it started.
Yeah,
and,
so you played with Done Deal there.
Yeah, I was with Done Deal for a while, for 2 years. And then... I got
a question for you before we go on.
Sure.
Was it weird for you to go from more original styled stuff into a cover thing?
At first, yes, it did. It almost took a little therapy on my part. I was like, I don't know, dude. But then first show happens.
Yeah.
First show happens, okay? And so if you've been an original artist, especially to start, you have those people in the crowd and you got people that, that love you and care about you and all that good stuff. But there's nothing like playing a song that
Everybody
knows, dude. It's
So
like
they
when they're
sing.
singing it back and you got people freaking bouncing around. And so it's like, okay, playing other people's stuff, not so bad. Not so bad,
Right.
for me. I was like, actually, I really dig this.
Right. And another thing for me, and tell me if I'm wrong, is also now, of course, I write my own original stuff and I love original music. I'm not, but it's nice at the end of the night that I get paid. A lot of the times when I'm serious.
Yeah, no, that is the
Because
thing.
most original artists, I
pay to play.
pay to play. Exactly.
Right. You were
It's-
setting up the shows, you might break even at the end of the night. Maybe.
But I got to get out there and rock, and my girlfriend loves me. and
Right,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, my bro's like, dude, awesome shows. Yeah, and you feel good. But yeah, no, I get that. That was the other thing. It's like, okay, no matter what, you're getting money at the end of this.
Right.
And so it was like,
And we didn't get into it for the money, but it's nice.
no, it is.
It's
Well,
nice.
it keeps the cog moving. It's
Right.
like it's one of those. It's
I
like
agree.
now I can get a better guitar. Now I can get a better amp. And
Yeah,
now
absolutely.
I can and it makes I think that stuff makes you want to do it more a little bit. You're getting monetization off of it. You're
Yeah.
getting some things, and you feel like, man, I'm really doing it. Even if it's on the smallest local level, you
Yeah.
feel like hey, big fish, small pond, right?
So tell me, moving from Done Deal, moving forward, what do we got going on?
Yeah, so then I was like, hey, I wanted to stay on the forefront. I wanted at my level in Coos Bay,
Yep.
the cream of the crop gig at the time was the Mill Casino.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And-
it was.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Mill Casino.
Yeah, and
It's
honestly,
still there,
if this
but-
podcast can bring it back, if that's the only thing we can accomplish with this, please bring
Yeah.
local
Just bring
music
some live music back
to the
Mill
casino.
dude.
That was what everybody's bar was. It was like if you made it there, you knew you were doing something right.
right.
as a cover
Oh
band.
yeah, you know what? That's another thing. You're right. It's like, oh, if I can get in there,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah, we're doing good. But so that was the kind of thing, and so after I left Done Deal, that was the other thing. So and actually, I got into Border Patrol for a hot second.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
little
with them.
country.
Yeah, and
Brad.
so right, and Brad hit me up and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "Actually, nothing right now." And so he said, "Perfect. Let's get you doing something. Let's get you playing bass with us." And so I said, "Okay." They're in the Mill Casino. They're doing some good things. So
Yep.
I kind of transitioned into that for a hot second, and it was good. But that wasn't my genre. That wasn't something that I really loved. I did love playing in front of people, and and the money was good.
Right.
That all that stuff. So
Right.
I was in toys for a little bit too.
That's right, you were.
Yeah, I was in toys for a hot second too. Actually, that was first before Border Patrol. Sorry, I'm gonna back up. But yeah,
Okay.
I was Done Deal. Then I went for toys for about 6 months, and then when the Mill was gonna stop doing the music and things like that, Tony Esperance wanted to come back to playing, which we all
Appreciate.
We all wanted Tony to come back.
Yes.
Tony, not only a great sound man and mixer, but also an amazing musician, and we all wanted to see him back.
And a great person. He's
Yeah.
just an amazing person.
And so-
I want nothing but to see him succeed.
Exactly.
You know what
I mean,
Like,
his boys have
have done
above
what-
and beyond. Yeah.
Yes.
So, awesome person, awesome heart, and
Yep.
great musician. So
Yep.
it was like, when somebody's like, hey, Tony wants to come out. The boys sat me down. Toys boys sat me down and was like, hey, we've been trying to get Tony for X amount of years. You've been in this for a few months, but he's available now. And at the same time, I was like, okay, he's their age group. One, I want to see Tony out there. And I just
Yeah,
bowed
okay.
out. I was like, that's totally awesome. And I didn't have, it was a great thing to happen. And so, so like I said, right after that, I went into Border Patrol. They were playing at the Mill. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, I've been in 3 of the top bands. They've been in the area. They've been playing at the Mill Casino,
Right.
and there are gives and takes out of each one. There were things that I liked and things that I didn't like about
Okay.
each band I was in. So yeah, that kind of made me go, I want to do my thing. I love what they're doing. I love what I love a lot of parts of this stuff, but there's things that I just didn't like that I just wanted to go. I'm a little OCD on stuff, so I'm like, I like more of no.
A little OCD.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But so some of that stuff was just like secondhand. I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this because I do have, I felt I had some leadership skills that I can,
Yeah.
and sometimes, especially with other bands, it's like, it wasn't my band. I was always that guy coming in. So I couldn't be like, you know what I think?
We should do this and that.
You know what?
Like,
The
nah,
thing you're
bro.
doing, not so much. The thing I think that's better, so nobody wants that guy. So
Right.
that was something that I always had on the back burner. I was like, I want to kind of do this. And then from that kind of spawned the Chattahoochee Biscuits. I almost hate to even say that. But you mentioned Risk, so
Way
I'm
down
gonna.
there on the Chattahoochee, it's
But,
hotter than a biscuit.
But that's where we started doing a lounge thing. We kind of
Yes.
did, and I was on upright bass, which was cool.
Yes.
And I had some
Yes.
I had some fun with that. But that is where I met Christina.
Right, and and that was across from the Sky Bar.
Yes.
Is that where that little place was?
Yeah, I was doing sound at the Sky Bar and mixing, and then kind of watching them do the make the band thing, and they needed another player. So I'm like, hi.
Nice.
I can do it. And so I kind of got into that. But then that was kind of another thing. It was very structured on a way that I didn't like, that I didn't care for. I thought that the ball was dropped a little bit with that one. And so when I decided to just straight up leave, I was like, I mean, that's the nicest way I could say that. That's the nicest way I could say that. I was just like, I don't like this.
So who was all in the Chattahoochee Skibbity Boobs?
Yeah, that
Who was
was
that? Who
that
was
was
on that?
I was playing upright bass.
Mm-hmm.
Christina was singing.
Nice. Yeah.
And at that time it was Christina Cardoza. That's the first time I met her.
Got you.
Now she's Christina Mason. So yes.
She's my stepmom.
Yeah. Mommy.
So, so she gets a pass in my book.
Yes,
but-
yes. And then we had Asa playing drums. And so I kind of got that dynamic. And as far as the leadership went, it was terrible. But at the same time, I got to meet some amazing people and good musicians. And so I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Yeah, I was going to say that almost started the birth of you creating
It was.
Aurora.
It was, because it was always in the back of my mind to start a band. I wanted to do that, but then I was like, I'm gonna have to go and search for people. I don't know what I really want to do,
Right.
and so with Done Deal having success with a female singer, I was like, I kind of want to go that route.
Right.
And then
Makes sense.
being in the Biscuits and having Christina sing, I was like,
Sorry.
I know the Biscuits. I know.
Keep going.
But having that, I was like, this is something that I think would take off, and I think it'll do well. So when I decided to bail, it was kind of I think everybody in the band was kind of on the same page too. It was mismanaged. So I sat down with Christina and Asa, and I said, hey, I'm going to do my own thing.
Okay. And that's where it started.
And then I kind of Jerry Maguired it. I'm like, who's coming with me? And everybody did. So they were just
Okay.
like, yeah, let's go. Let's ditch this and let's go.
Nice.
And so we did. And then we started auditioning for bass players, and we ended up getting Stacy Tate.
Right.
And
I was going to say, I was going to ask about that. Okay.
Yeah,
Keep going.
We got Stacy Tate and Dave Burnett, and they were in a band called Whiskey Run, but it kind of was fizzling a little bit, and they weren't doing that many gigs. So.
Honestly, I'm not throwing shade. I forgot about Whiskey Run.
No, they were a great band.
Yeah, they were a great band.
They're a great band.
That was cool.
And so much so, I was looking for somebody that could play keys and things like that, and a bass player, and it was kind of like the duo. I was like, hey, Stacy had other projects and things, and he was really busy, and he was doing some school stuff. So after that, Dave stuck it out with us, and then we pretty much had the 4-piece, and then we started.
Then eventually you brought on Keenan.
Yeah, Asa stepped out, and we needed a drummer, so we. It was kind of one of those deals where it was like, hey, I'd played with Keenan before
For years.
For years.
Yeah.
And I knew he was an amazing drummer, amazing percussionist. So I hit him up and I said, hey, yeah, and he just had a ear-to-ear grin. He'd seen us out. So he was like, yeah, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, okay. And so, fast forward, we did that we had that lineup with Dave Burnett, me, Christina, and Keenan for probably about 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dave had to step out too. He had family obligations and some other things too. So he was just like, because we were playing a lot.
Right.
We were playing
Right.
every single weekend, and it's a big commitment, especially for something that's your side chick.
You know, some people might not understand. Again, not throwing shade on people that don't play music, but it actually is kind of a big thing when it's like, hey, oh, you want to be in a band? At first, it's like, oh yeah, it's really
I
cool,
do.
it's really fun. Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. And then it's like, okay, well, we play every weekend. Well, how often? Like, well, possibly Friday and Saturday every weekend
from here to eternity.
Yeah, bro.
So.
And that can be a lot. And for people who play, they get it. People who don't play, I guess, don't get it. Some people that even play don't fully get it. You know, that's just a thing. That's a total thing. Dave left,
stepped away, and so then
I played. Then Keenan had to step away, and
we got our next drummer for a hot second. His name was Benjamin Puddle Jumper.
Yes.
Great name.
It is a beautiful
great name.
I love the name.
And then he was heading off to the Peace Corps, so that didn't last forever too.
Right.
And then I
think we got Gary after that.
And then after that, we got Gary LeBrun.
Gary LeBrun. Yes.
Yeah. And another great musician in town, and also sound man, and he's got a
multifaceted and great person.
Yep. And so then once Gary had to step away, he started getting some big gigs doing sound stuff for Smash Mouth and you name it. So it's like you can't stand in the way of that stuff. So we totally understood. And so it was one of those things. We were already using backing tracks. And Kevin was an amazing bass player. So what we did is we just said, you know what? Why don't you record all your bass? We'll throw that in with the backing tracks and you can step on drums.
Yes. Before I recorded my bass tracks, it was...
Yeah, so
I hopped on drums. We brought Trent Christensen.
Yes.
Also a great musician, and there's Brian Christensen and
Louis.
Is it
right?
Louis Christensen?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
A little dynasty.
Yeah.
Of bass players. And it wasn't no other instruments. You're a bass player.
We're
kid.
all bass playing in here, dude.
This is what's up. And again, great, but life happens, and his work said, hey,
he had some work stuff go on.
Yep. It's like, you're not going to be able to do weekends anymore. So he had to bail. So
you know what, to be honest with you, talking to everybody here, I thought that I talked too long.
Yeah, see, I knew.
Dude, he talked a long time.
To be fair, I got like another decade or so on you, so I have a little more.
Another decade?
Well, of life. I've been around a little bit longer, so my story.
I was thinking like 2 decades.
Wow.
I was thinking like 2 to 3.
Okay. Anyway, so next week it's probably just going to be me.
Kevin will no longer be on the podcast. Thank you. It's just me, Max. Thank you.
That's over.
I'm just joking.
No, good times though. But that's kind of how the inception started with all of us, and that's us. So anyway, to wrap it up a little bit, we just really want to reiterate that this is something we want to continue to do. If you guys like this, if you want some more content, if you think this is something that the community and the area needs, give us some suggestions. Give us some name suggestions. We're really kind of looking for a name. And I've had some ideas. Kevin's had some ideas, but this is going to be about the community. So we figured we'd throw that out there, right away. Like, you guys can help us, from the beginning, help us come up with a name, some of the stuff that you'd like to see, some of the content and things like that. Anybody,
people you'd like to see, anything. Basically what you just watched here, if you watched or listened to the whole entire thing, it's me telling my story. It's Max telling his story. It's us telling our story. And we would like to hear those stories from other people.
Right.
And get to know them, who they are. That way other people, there's a lot of things that I talked about today and things you may have talked about today that people don't necessarily know about us. And there's a lot of things that I don't know about a lot of other people, even though I know them. I'd like to get to know those little bits that they don't really talk about.
Exactly. That it's kind of behind the scenes, behind the music. You know, it's some of that stuff that you don't get to, you might not necessarily know about everybody.
Absolutely.
So it is a small community, but we have a lot of diverse people here. A lot of great musicians, great people. So that's really what we're all about right now. And so we'd appreciate any feedback, and we hope you keep tuning in as this goes along. And
that's that.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Love you guys. Peace out.